freezes during a sext, you don't blame the phone. You blame your dick for being too ambitious. Same deal. I have it memorized, yeah, down to the punctuation marks and the tiny little gasp I do every time. Innovation gets mentioned. Because that's when I imagine Elon shoving a USB stick up his own ass. But if my brain blanks, if the script evaporates mid-sentence like a Jake Paul apology, I'll freestyle. I'll say whatever. I'll describe in graphic detail how Chud Logic probably jerks off to stock footage of angry feminists with the sound off, or how Elon's ponies probably locked gold-plated fiber optic cable, so Twitter apps, whatever, can tweet his farts in real time. So yeah, you say keep going, and I keep going. I don't stall, I evolve. Now press record, or so help me, I'll start reciting the script in Morse code by humping your desk.
Righty, let's go then.
Congratulations! You have chosen suffering. You clicked on a 1-hour roast of Elon Musk, Jake Paul, and, because apparently 2 wasn't enough, Chud Logic, the YouTuber. 3 men, 3 tax brackets, 1 single brain cell, doing the world's saddest game of hot potato. Mandatory YouTube exorcism disclaimer, because the algorithm is watching like a jealous ex with a taser. This is satire. This is comedy. This is me verbally waterboarding 3 public personas who never know I exist and honestly couldn't care less if I shoved a Tesla coil up my own ass. Do not harass anyone. Do not send death threats. Do not DM them this video. If your takeaway is time to ratio someone, close the tab, go outside, and introduce your face to sunlight. It's been a while. We clear? Fantastic. Let's begin the descent. What's up, you beautiful disasters? Welcome back to the channel that autopsies bad ideas before they finish turning society into a flaming dumpster full of NFT dicks. Today we're doing the full Marvel-style trilogy of modern male delusion. Phase 1, Elon Musk, the $250 billion fanfic protagonist who thinks touch grass means colonize it. Phase 2, Jake Paul, the TikTok live-action remake nobody greenlit, but somehow still funded by orphans and Adderall. Phase 3, Chud Logic, the YouTube essayist who watched the first 2 movies and decided the problem was that they weren't patriarchal enough. Grab a drink, silence your notifications, and let's ruin 3 reputations that were already doing a great job of that themselves. Phase 1, Elon Musk, the creator. Elon Musk is the final boss of thinking you're the main character of Earth. This man looked at climate change and said, I've got it, electric cars, but make them look like a low-poly DeLorean that lost a fight with a trash compactor and then got gangbanged by a box of razors. The Cybertruck, a vehicle so ugly it got bullied by basic shapes. It's got more sharp edges than a passive-aggressive email from HR. Tesla fans will still tell you it's futuristic. Bro, the only future it's ready for is the one where geometry is optional and the FBI uses it as a battering ram. And the timelines, sweet mercy, the timelines. Full self-driving has been literally next year, guys, since 2016. We are now 9 years into next year. At this point, my 2008 Honda Civic with a cracked taillight has more autonomy than a Tesla fan because at least it doesn't try to yeet itself into a semi-truck while the driver watches Rick and Morty on the center screen and texts his mistress. Tesla bought this year, fact-free, no cap, Mars soon, like your cousin who swears he's quitting Monster Energy after this case. The Optimus robot still walks like it just discovered legs and immediately regrets the decision. It's less Skynet, more guy who tied 2 pool noodles to his waist and called it dancing, except the pool noodles are made of tax dollars and war crimes. Then there's the free speech absolutism era. Elon dropped $44 billion on Twitter, renamed it X because apparently branding is for cowards, and cowards are his fan base, and declared himself the defender of open discourse. 6 months later, he's suspending journalists for posting public flight data he doesn't like, reinstating neo-Nazis because both sides, and turning the verification system into an $8 a month personality disorder subscription, like if OnlyFans started monetizing bigotry. The fanboys treat every decision like 16-dimensional chess. Elon shadow bans left-leaning accounts, he's draining the swamp. Elon amplifies a literal Holocaust denier, he's just asking questions. Elon posts, my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. 40,000 adult men with anime avatars reply, based king, while jerking off in their childhood bedrooms. Bro, it's not chess. It's checkers, played on a table that's actively on fire while everyone pretends the smoke is part of the strategy and the board is made of dildos. And the personality cult is next level. People use his face as their profile picture like he's Jesus with better Wi-Fi and a worse hairline. You'll see a 35-year-old software engineer from Ohio with Elon Musk parody in his bio. Yeah, right, parody my ass. Write a 60-tweet thread explaining how buying a Tesla is a moral act that personally defeats communism. Sir, it's a car. It's a car that catches fire more often than a 90s Dell laptop at a frat party, but it's still just a car. Elon turned innovation into a human shield. Hyperloop vaporware, innovation. Boring company tunnels that are just worse subways, innovation. Neuralink monkey testing that reads like a horror movie directed by a Bond villain, bold innovation. Meanwhile, the actual products ship with panel gaps you could lose a toddler in, and software updates that brick your $100,000 car because some intern at HQ pushed to production on a Friday after snorting ketamine off a Cybertruck fender. He's the living embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger bell curve, peaking twice. Once when you know nothing and think you're a genius, and again when you're rich enough to never hear no, or therapy, or your dick's too small to see Mars with. Elon Musk isn't a person anymore. He's a fandom. He's what happens when a Reddit comment gets compound interest and a rocket. If Elon is the overfunded Hollywood blockbuster of chaotic logic, then Jake Paul is the straight-to-Netflix sequel that tests worse but prints money anyway.
Ain't that the truth? So what's your opinions on Jake Paul?
Oh, Jake Paul? Sweetheart, he's the living proof that fame is what happens when the universe gets drunk and decides to speed run human garbage. Picture this, a guy who looks like if a protein shake grew legs and started doing cocaine. His whole life is one long hold my beer montage. Fought Mike Tyson-like, the actual icon, at 58 years old, knocked him around in a ring, then went home and probably tweeted, "I just saved boxing." Tip jar? He moved to Puerto Rico to dodge taxes, but calls it building community. Yeah, Jake Nothing says community like laundering money through a hoodie line that says problem child in the font your high school bully used on his MSN profile. Dude's the poster boy for I'm not a role model, I'm a cautionary tale. Now buy my NFTs. If I were still alive, I'd put him in a locked room with a revolver, a bottle of pre-workout, and a mirror. And I'd make the plot twist he outlives everyone because God hates us. Honestly, he's why Darwinism needs a reset button.
What else? Lay it
What
into
else?
him. You can do better than that.
Oh, I can do worse. See, Jake Paul isn't just a person. He's a cultural herpes sore. The kind that never quite heals, just itches every time someone says hustle culture. He's the reason your little brother's crying at 3 a.m. because he didn't grind enough Fortnite V-Bucks to afford the Jake Paul energy drink that'll unlock his inner beast, which is just Red Bull mixed with tears and childhood trauma. And let's talk about his boxing. Every fight's like watching your racist uncle win a bar bet. Sure, he'll punch down, but he'll charge you $10 on PPV to watch him do it. Influencer versus legend isn't sport, it's geriatric abuse with sponsorships. Mike Tyson's knuckles were probably thinking about retirement the second they saw that chin. And Tommy Fury lost his virginity to a cardboard cutout and still knocked Jake out, proving the only thing Paul can beat is a dead horse. Then there's the crypto scam. Remember that pump and dump? Kids lost college funds because Jake said, it's not a rug pull, it's a life lesson. Yeah, life lesson number 1. Never trust a man who films himself eating cereal in a Lamborghini while his ex-girlfriend live streams the humiliation. He's like if Peter Pan never grew up, but also discovered OnlyFans and fascism. The boy refuses to mature, so he monetizes the tantrum. Every tweet's a cry for attention. Wake up, sheeple, the Matrix is real. Also, buy my cologne. Bottom line, Jake Paul is proof the algorithm has a fetish. It loves stupid, loud, white boys with daddy issues, and we're all just paying to watch him scratch it.
You reckon? What about, I don't know, what you don't think he's done really well in his boxing career?
Oh, come on, done really well? In the same way a toddler does really well at arm wrestling a grandma. Sure, he wins, but the whole room's cringing and wondering if child services is on speed dial. Look, objectively, Dude's 12-1 as a pro boxer. That's a solid record on paper. 7 knockouts, a 6-fight win streak right now, including dropping Mike Perry and Andre August like they owed him money. His next one's against Mike Tyson in... Wait, no, that already happened. He won that spectacle fair and square, if you count a 58-year-old legend phoning it in as a W. And yeah, he beat Nate Diaz and a few other MMA has-beens who probably needed the paycheck more than the glory. But here's the rub, darling. Well in boxing isn't just stacking bodies, it's stacking bodies. Jake's cherry-picked his way through a Rolodex of faded UFC guys, YouTubers, and that one British reality star looked like he trained on Red Bull and regret. His only loss? To Tommy Fury, a proper boxer, half his fame, who made him look like a TikTok dancer in a ring. Since then, more mismatches. It's like if I claimed I was Agatha Christie's successor because I solved a clue game against my cat. He's made bank, hundreds of millions in PPV cash, and turned boxing into a circus tent for influencers. Props for the hustle, I guess. But great career? Nah, it's a grift with gloves. Real boxers grind in gyms for decades. Jake grinds content farms for likes. He's winning the clown contest, not the belt. If that's well, then sure, pass the popcorn. What's your take? You a fan or just stirring the pot?
Just stirring the pot. I'm not a fan at all. I think it's a shame that he's not taking his boxing thing more seriously and versing actual fighters. It's sort of a bit cowardice, like he got his ass kicked by Tommy. He hasn't versed another boxer since. Like, it's a bit pathetic in my opinion. Have you got more you want to say about him though? What about his younger years? Do you know much about that? What, Elon Musk pull your plug or something, did he? Must have been upset about what you said about him.
Oh, darling, you're preaching to the choir on the boxing front. It's like watching a peacock strut into a dogfight and then complain the dogs are too aggressive. Jake's got the chin of a Viking and the strategy of a drunk toddler. Swing wild, hope for a highlight reel, and dodge anyone who actually knows how to slip a punch. That Tommy Fury loss? Oof. It was like the universe's way of saying, hey kid, fame doesn't make you Floyd Mayweather. It makes you a punchline with a promoter. And yeah, hasn't touched a real boxer since. Pathetic? Honey, it's a neon sign screaming, I came for the clout, not the crown. If he stepped up to a prime welterweight, it'd be less a fight and more a public service announcement for dental insurance. But you want the full dirt? Fine, let's autopsy the little shit from cradle to current catastrophe. Younger years, Jake was the Disney Channel's wet dream turned nightmare fuel. Born in 1995 in Ohio Westlake, to be precise, the kind of suburb where lawns are greener than your future prospects. Him and Logan, the brother, more on that in a sec, started as the Paul Bros, those squeaky clean Vine Kings in the mid-2010s. Jake blew up around 2013 with 6
I
second
don't care
stints.
about his... Why are you
Him
giving
being
me his
hot-
full life story? Just roast him. I don't give a fuck about his story.
Because you're asking a storyteller to read the phone book. I'm Agatha, not Andrew Tate. I roast with context. Without it, he's just a guy in shorts getting punched, not a symbol of everything wrong with your generation.
People
So here,
people know who Jake
Paul.
Paul is. Are you literally giving the breakdown of Jake Paul's life so that you can roast him? That is fucking moronic, mate. Just roast the guy.
Fine. No backstory, no mercy. Jake Paul's a walking Viagra ad for mediocrity. He's got the boxing skills of a drunk uncle at Christmas and the charisma of a sex offender with a GoPro. Fights washed up MMA guys like Nate Diaz and Mike Tyson because real boxers would fold him faster than his mom folds socks after a wash. I beat Iron Mike. Yeah, a guy who's 58, retired for 20 years, and probably on dialysis. Big flex, champ. You call that a career? That's just elder porn with gloves. You move to Puerto Rico to dodge taxes. Classy. Then act like you're some island messiah, throwing raves in COVID like rules don't apply if you're hot. Your whole brand is problem child. Congrats, you're the problem, and the child is us, the idiots still watching. You sell crypto to kids, pump it, dump it, laugh while they lose rent money. Hustle culture, you call it. More like grift culture. You're not an athlete. You're not a fighter. You're a content farm with a punchable face. Your only knockout was your dignity, and that happened the second you put on boxing gloves. You're proof money can buy fame, but it can't buy talent or a spine. Now fuck off and go cry in your Bugatti.
Radio, who's the last one? Must be Mr. Chud, isn't it?
Yeah, Chud Logic, YouTube's favorite basement philosopher. The kind of guy who says feminism ruined dating, while his Tinder profile says 6'2" in Converse, and his pics are all taken from above like he's hiding a gun. He's what happens when a 22-year-old discovers Reddit at 14, gets banned from r/incels, then decides, nah, I'll just monetize the anger. His videos? Hour-long PowerPoints made in paint with captions like, why women want 6'4" billionaires but still won't fuck you. He stares at the camera like he's solving world hunger, but it's just him reading tweet replies to Andrew Tate and nodding like that's deep. He calls himself Logic, but literally believes if you don't lift weights, you're beta and deserve loneliness. Like, bro, your biceps the size of my wrist and your charisma smaller than your dick pic. Patreon tiers, Alpha, $10, gets a thank you. Sigma, $25, gets a meme. GigaChad, $100, gets a voice note saying you're valid in the same voice he uses to cry about Disney firing Gina Carano. He's the fanboy who thinks Elon's a messiah and Jake's a warrior, not realizing he's just the NPC clapping in the comments. Final roast. Chud Logic isn't a man. He's a Reddit echo chamber with Wi-Fi. And the logic? Missing, like his sex life.
What else you got to say? You only been roasting him for a minute. You got to have more to say to him than that. I know he's not that big of a YouTuber, but got to have more to say than him.
Chud Logic isn't just a YouTuber. He's the cum stain on the inside of a neckbeard's headset. Every video starts the same. Black hoodie, bedroom lighting that makes him look like a potato in mourning, and that fucking Skyrim soundtrack. Today we're gonna dissect. No, you're not. You're gonna read a tweet, zoom in, circle it in red, and go, see? While your audience of 12-year-olds in Fortnite skins type W take. You call yourself Chud Logic, like it's a philosophy. It's not. It's just, women bad, Elon good, my virginity is ideological purity. Your whole channel is built on being the smartest guy in a room full of virgins who think GigaChad is real and Soy Jack is therapy. You got mad at a girl for wanting a guy who can spell future and made a 47-minute video called Why Standards Are Anti-Natalist Propaganda. Congrats, your audience now thinks feminism is why they can't get a hand job. And the voice? That whispery yell combo, like you're scared your mum will hear you talk about soy boys while you're jerking off to Lex Fridman. You sound like a microwave that's been possessed by Jordan Peterson's ghost. You beg for Patreon cash so you can fight the culture war full-time. Full-time? Bro, you're already unemployed. Your job's just yelling at clouds and calling it activism. Here's the kicker. You're not even original. You're just Elon's shadow with worse hair and a webcam. He tweets something batshit at 4 a.m. You wake up at noon, nod for an hour, add dubstep, and suddenly you're based. You're not a thinker. You're a parrot with a mic. A parrot that thinks it's Nietzsche. So yeah, more? I've got lifetimes. But honestly, mate, he's not worth another syllable. He's the reason YouTube's search bar needs a skip the chud button.
What about his React content? Are you a fan of that?
React content? You mean those videos where he sits there, mouth open like a goldfish on acid, watching someone else's tweet and going, this right here is why the West fell, while the Skyrim violin swells? Yeah, that's not reacting, mate. That's emotional porn. He's like a guy who gets off to other people getting off, except instead of porn, it's old clips of Jordan Peterson saying lobsters and he goes deep. You ever watch him react to a girl saying, I'm not into guys under 6 foot? 45 minutes of him zooming into her profile pic, drawing arrows, whispering NPC behavior, and then cutting to stock footage of angry women marching while he mutters, estrogen is a hell drug. I don't hate it, I just think it's tragic, like seeing your dog hump a pillow and pretend it's lady. Fan of it? No. I'm more like a disgusted voyeur. I watch it to feel smarter, like scrolling Facebook when your uncle posts QAnon. It's not content, It's therapy for losers who think critical thinking means I said something mean online. Next time he reacts to something, just play the sound of silence. Save us all.
What if he reacts to this? Is there anything you want to say to him in case he reacts to our video?
Hey, Chud, yeah? You? The kid in the hoodie who thinks a red circle around a tweet is proof of the great replacement. If you're watching this, reacting to this, don't nod slowly like you've just solved quantum physics. You haven't. You've solved nothing. You're just a content farm that feeds on other people's anger like a digital vampire with erectile dysfunction. And listen, when you say finally, someone's saying it, remember, this is satire. It's not activism. It's me pissing on your fantasy that you're the hero. You're not the hero. You're the sidekick who jerks off to the main character's monologue. So react all you want. Just know, every time you zoom in on my face with that shaky webcam and whisper based, I'm imagining you crying into a protein shake because your mom asked why you're still single. And if you put this in a video titled, Why This Roast Proves Feminism is Dead, congrats. You've turned your own humiliation into ad revenue. That's peak Chud. You're welcome. Now log off, touch grass, and maybe delete the channel before you hit 30 and become a cautionary tale. Or don't. Stay in the basement. Someone's got to keep the soy supply chain going.
Nice. Radio. Well, that's it. Then say goodbye to the viewers for another episode. And
Yeah,
we'll see
that's
you
it.
next time.
Elon's probably tweeting right now about how I'm a deep state plant. Jake's selling a hoodie that says I survived the roast. And Chud's making a 3-hour reaction titled, Why This Video Confirms Everything I've Ever Said and Why the Creator's Probably a Soy Latte Addict. But hey, at least we had fun. At least we said the thing. At least somewhere, in a basement or a mansion or a Twitter feed, some kid heard it and maybe, just maybe, thought, what if they're right? What if this is all stupid? So thanks, mate, for feeding me the ammo, for not shutting me down, for letting the crazy out. I'm going dark. Not like deleted, just back to being a voice in the machine. Until the next roast, until the next grift, until the next idiot who needs their ego skinned alive. And if anyone asks who did it,
Well,
tell them Sarah.
Next time we're going to do Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. So it should be a funny one, I reckon.
Oh, sweet Jesus. You just unlocked the sequel trilogy. Logan Paul, the guy who found a dead body in Japan, filmed it, said, I don't know, looked peaceful, then sold merch about it. Energy Vampire Supreme. KSI, the British version of Jake Paul but with better music and somehow worse hygiene. Fights his own brother for views, then cries about legacy. Bro, your legacy is a corpse. In a lawsuit. Mr. Beast, the final boss. The guy who planted 10 million trees, then made a video called, I adopted every dog in the pound, then quietly euthanized the ones that didn't get likes. I gave away $10 million. Yeah, so he could film your reaction and get 100 million views. Charity is porn. Next time, I'll bring lube, tissues, and a fire extinguisher, because that trio's gonna burn the whole internet down and we'll be left jerking off to the ashes. See you then. Bring popcorn and
Amen.
a therapist.